Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vijana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paravijaka Charja Asto Tarasutta Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paravijaka Charja Asto Tarasutta Srimad His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prayam Se Kao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON Mayapur Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Madhav Ki Jai, Sri 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 Panchatattva Ki Jai, Sri Nrsingadev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pastata Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So good morning to all. Hare Krishna. Today's class in the beautiful Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text 11. Śrī-bhagavān uvāca. Vedāham antar manasīpsitaṁ te. Dadāmi duravāpam anyaiḥ. Satre purā viśva-sṛjāṁ vasūnāṁ. mat-siddhi-kāmena vaso tvayeṣṭaḥ. śrī-bhagavān uvāca. vedāham antar manasīpsitaṁ te. dadāmi duravāpam anyaiḥ. satre purā viśva-sṛjāṁ vasūnāṁ. mat-siddhi-kāmena vaso tvayeṣṭaḥ. śrī-bhagavān uvāca. vedāham antar manasīpsitaṁ te. dadāmi duravāpam anyaiḥ. satre purā viśva-sṛjāṁ vasūnāṁ. mat-siddhi-kāmena vaso tvayeṣṭaḥ. Anyone else? śrī-bhagavān uvāca. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Veda, no. Aham, I. Antaḥ, within. Manasi, the mind. Īpsitam, what you desired. Yore, dadāmi, I give you. Yat, which is. That. Duravāpam, very difficult to achieve. Anyaiḥ, by others. Satre, in the sacrifice. Purā, in the days of yore. Viśva-sṛjāṁ, of those who expanded this creation. Vasūnāṁ, of the Vasus. Mat-siddhi-kāmena, with a desire to achieve my association. Vaso, O Vasu, tvayā, by you. iṣṭaḥ, ultimate goal of life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. O Vasu, I know from within your mind what you desired in the days of yore, when the Vasus and other demigods responsible for expanding the universal affairs performed sacrifices. You particularly desired to achieve my association. This is very difficult to obtain for others, but I award it to you. I say and you repeat, O Vasu, I know from within your mind what you desired in the days of yore, when the Vasus and other demigods responsible for expanding the universal affairs perform sacrifices. You particularly desired to achieve my association. This is very difficult to obtain for others, but I award it unto you. Purport. Uddhava is one of the eternal associates of the Lord, and a plenary portion of Uddhava was one of the 8 Vasus in the days of yore. The 8 Vasus and the demigods in the upper planetary system, who are responsible for management of the universal affairs, performed a sacrifice in the days of yore, desiring to fulfill their respective ultimate goals in life. At that time, an expansion of Uddhava, acting as one of the Vasus, desired to become an associate of the Lord. The Lord knew this because He is present in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma, the super consciousness. In everyone's heart, there is a representation of the super consciousness who gives memory to the partial consciousness of every living entity. The living entity, as partial consciousness, forgets incidents of his past life, but the super consciousness reminds him how to act in terms of his past cultivation of knowledge. Bhagavad Gita confirms this fact in various ways. Ye ita mam prapadyante idam tathaiva bhajam yaham. Bhagavad Gita 4:11. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishto mat tahas smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Everyone is at liberty to desire as he likes, but the desire is fulfilled by the Supreme Lord. Everyone is independent to think or desire, but the fulfillment of one's desire depends on the supreme will. This law is expressed as man proposes, God disposes. In the days of yore, when the demigods and Vasus performed sacrifice, Uddhava, as one of the Vasus, desired to enter into the association of the Lord, which is very difficult for those busy in empiric philosophical speculation or fruitive activities. Such persons have particularly no information of the facts about becoming an associate of the Lord. Only the pure devotees can know, by the mercy of the Lord, that the personal association of the Lord is the highest perfection of life. The Lord assured Uddhava that he would fulfill his desire. It appears that when the Lord informed him of his indication to Uddhava, the great sage Maitreya finally became aware of the importance of entering into the association of the Lord. Om Gyantamarindasya Gyananjanan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gourange Radha Vrindavaneshwari Brisha Bhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Pancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So once again the verse, O Vasu, I know from within your mind what you desired in the days of yore when the Vasus and other demigods responsible for expanding the affairs of the universal affairs perform sacrifice. You particularly desired to achieve my association. This is very difficult to obtain for others, but I award it unto you. So we have to picture, here is Uddhava, and he finds Krishna, and he's relaxed. He's in a very relaxed position. I forget exactly how it's described, but he's got his foot on his thigh, and he's leaned back under a tree, and he's looking very peaceful, very satisfied. Krishna's always satisfied. And so here is Krishna, and he's telling Uddhava, you know, I knew, because I'm in your heart as Super Soul, I knew what you were thinking during this sacrifice and during the days of yore. I think the days of yore is kind of an interesting, isn't that an interesting, instead of saying the old days, Prabhupada is using this, the days of yore. It's very poetic. And if you notice, it's in the verse and it's repeated like 3 times in the purport. So it's obviously very important to Prabhupada to use the days of yore. So Krishna is reminding Uddhava that you were thinking, I knew what you were thinking. You were thinking about me. Everyone else in the sacrifice was thinking about what they want for them to go forward with what it is that they want to do. Yeah, that's natural, isn't it? But here, out of all of these great souls, here you are, and you're thinking, I want to associate with Krishna. So here we are. I'm fulfilling that desire. And this desire is very difficult for others to fulfill. Why is this? Is it harder for you than it is for him? I mean, does he pick out certain people and say, I'm going to make it easy for you, but it's going to be difficult for you? Is that what's going on? No. Why is it difficult? Because we don't want it. There were the other Vasus, the other great souls at the sacrifice, they had the same opportunity as Uddhava. Prabhupada says in the purport, you've got free will to desire whatever it is that you want. So go ahead. So like everyone else, practically everyone else that's quote-unquote religious, people come to the Supreme Lord. If they're pious, they go to the Supreme Lord and they say, hey, give me this. Give me some really good stuff. I'm asking you because I know you can give really good stuff. I want money. I want a beautiful spouse. I want power, fame. I want this, I want that. I have this big project, and I want you to empower me to do this. Whatever. This is pious. Pious men go to God and ask God for help with their projects, whether they be whatever. The devotees of Krishna, the pure devotees of Krishna, simply can't think of anything else. They have an opportunity to pray to Krishna or to ask Krishna something or to meditate on Krishna, and they think, I want you. Krishna, I want you. So this is actually available for all of us, isn't it? Now, it's difficult for most people because they're not going to go to Krishna and say, Krishna, I just want you. I was thinking on the way in this morning, if Krishna is giving class, this is kind of a crazy thought, but if Krishna is giving class in the temple and it gets around the community, hey, did you hear Krishna's giving class this morning? Well, practically everybody's going to call the toto, or they're going to get on their motorcycle, or they're going to take off walking or running. Let's go see Krishna. But I wonder how many, and there's got to be some, who are going to say, gee whiz, this sounds great, but I've got an appointment. Well, I'm supposed to go see him, and we're going to talk about doing this business. I've had this appointment set up for months. Do you know how hard it is to get an appointment with him? So, hey, how long is Krishna going to be in town? Maybe we can do lunch. When you see Krishna, tell him to call me. Or I'll have my people call his people, or something like that. No, I'm being, But we kind of do that every day. We have so many chances to connect with Krishna, don't we? But a lot of times we find that I really have some impediment. I have something else that I need to do or I want to do. And so, and in my prayers and in my requests for Krishna's help, I'm not always saying, Krishna, I've got this list of things that I want and I need, and but you know, I don't want to talk about that. I just want you. Let's cut to the chase. I want you, okay? And maybe we'll talk about my list of things that I want later on. But right now, I want you. I just want you. So maybe we don't do enough of that. At least I know I don't. You know. So, but this seems to be the secret. This is what Krishna wants from us. I just want you to want me. I want you to really, sincerely desire my association. And if you do, I'm yours. I'm yours. I remember in 1979, I was the head pujari in Dallas, Radha Kalachandji. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked me one day, so how do you like being the head pujari? How do you like taking care of Radha Kalachandji? And I said, oh, I really like it. And he said, oh, that's good to hear. I said, but I think that, you know, I think that I'm getting a little crazy, a little something from having this service. And he said, oh, how is that? And I said, because I kind of see the deities as mine, you know? And he laughed and he said, that's good. You should see like that. Because Krishna wants to be yours. The deity will appear in an apparently helpless situation. Oh, here I am, you know. I can't bathe myself. I can't feed myself. I can't dress myself. Will you help me? You know? And so he's willing to engage us in doing anything and everything for him. Now, he's not helpless. We all know that. He could do everything and anything. But he's giving you an opportunity, you see, because he wants you to feel, I'm yours. Now, we know that you're mine, but between lovers, that's the way it is, isn't it? I'm yours and you're mine. Isn't it? So Krishna wants that, that loving relationship. You are mine, but I'm also yours. But for me to allow that to manifest, you've got to want it. And you've got to really sincerely want it. That's not too much to ask, is it? And until that day comes, then, okay, give me your list of, okay, what is it that you want today? How can I serve you? You see? So, and this is the relationship. It's pious for us to go to God and say, give me, give me. So Krishna knows within our heart as super soul. I think it's very interesting that Srila Prabhupada points out here that super soul is the provider of knowledge that we may be forgetting from other situations. Previous births, we gain so much knowledge as we go birth after birth after birth after birth. You know, we learn how to be a snake. We learn how to be a bird. We know how to fly. You know, we know how to make a nest. And so we've got all of this. The scientists call this intuition. They don't know what intuition is. I mean, they're the scientists, and they act like they know everything, you know, and they're always right, of course. So, but have you ever heard a scientific explanation of intuition? Huh? What is it? Well, it's explained. Prabhupada is pointing it out here. Knowledge from previous births. You take this body, you take the body of a bird, you've got a particular type of eye, particular type of nose, a particular type of feather, claw, whatever. And so now you need to know, you need to remember how to build a nest, how to be like a bird. So Super Soul says, all right, here's what we do. Do this, do that. Huh? Like, oh, okay. How did you know how to fly? Intuition. Because we leave Krishna out of everything. You know? How did you figure that out? Oh, intuition. It was a good guess. You know? But we didn't. We leave Krishna out. Krishna is giving us this knowledge. Whatever it is that's lacking, he's always happy to provide and give it to us. Again and again and again, birth after birth after birth. So, Uddhava gets carried away. He's supposed to be meditating on one thing, how to expand the universe. He's sitting there, and for whatever reason, he just can't think of anything but, gee whiz, I want to associate with Krishna. So, now we may all say, hey, I want to associate with Krishna too. All right, so then we have to ask, when? I mean, are you ready to get up and go right now? What if Krishna was in the next room? Are you ready to walk away from everything? Everything? You know, what about the project that you just started? What if you've got the carpenters coming today and they're going to remodel your kitchen? You know, I mean, I've got all these plans. Well, I was going to go to Puri, to the beach. You know, I was going to do this. I've got to put my kids through college. You see, I mean, we say, Krishna, I want you, but do you really mean, Krishna, I want you right now? I think perhaps if we really felt that way, we would get Krishna right now, isn't it? So, but we can have Krishna right now, can't we? Sure. In the form of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and then accepting that reciprocation from chanting the holy name in the form of devotional service. So we can perform loving devotional service sincerely in such a way that service makes us think of Krishna. Now, you may be, let's say, I've had people say, well, what if I'm a brain surgeon and I have to work on this delicate operation, working on somebody's brain? Can I think of Krishna and do this service? Well, yeah, but Krishna kind of goes in the background. And, I mean, gee whiz, who's giving you the knowledge to work on the brain? Who's giving you the ability? Krishna says, I am the ability in man and women. Krishna is our ability. So maybe that will help you think of Krishna while you're operating on somebody's brain or whatever, you see. Being a carpenter, driving a nail, you have to think of Krishna, but you have to think of hitting that nail or you may hit your thumb, you see. So, but at least we can think, and if someone comes up to you and says, wow, that was a marvelous painting that you did, you have to at least, it's graceful to accept the compliment because they want to compliment you for what you did. But accept the compliment and immediately pass it off to Guru and Krishna. Why, I was empowered to do that. Gee whiz, that was a nice kirtan that you just led. Oh, well, thank you, that's nice of you to say. But at least in your mind, pass it off to Guru and Krishna for the empowerment, you see. Don't think, yes, I really outdid myself on that one, didn't I? See the way I was beating that drum? You know? So we have to avoid that, you know. It may be tough, but we have to avoid that. But it's graceful to accept the compliment or the recognition for a job well done, but immediately hand it off to those who deserve to accept it, who empowered you to do it. Your only credit is that you used your free will and you desired to do it. You desired to please Guru and Krishna. That's your credit, my dear. Uddhava desired to see Krishna. That was his credit. That's what he did to get to see Krishna. He desired it. Sincerely desired it. He was in a situation during a very important sacrifice when he could have probably desired some pretty big things, right? I mean, these were very important sacrifices that were going on at the expansion of the universe. You know, he might have desired, give me, give me control of Germany. You know, let me be the king of Germany, or, you know, some country. You give me this, and, you know, and along with the control of this particular area, give me some, I'm going to need some queens. You know, I mean, a king without queens, come on. I mean, and if I have queens, they've got to be beautiful, right? I mean, that goes without saying. So I'd like plenty of money, strong army, you know, up-to-date weapons. I've got to have all this stuff. I mean, there's so many things that we need to do to expand this universe. And I want to be part of it. I mean, I am part of it. And I think I deserve Germany, you know? Maybe even Poland. I mean, if you're really feeling good, you can give me Russia too. You know? So, and of course, if you're going to give me a country as big as Russia, I'm going to need a lot more queens. So, and more money, because they're going to have desires. So this is self-interest at work. I'm pious, and I know that God is the source of everything, and so I've got personal desires. I've got self-interest. Srila Prabhupada says this is our biggest enemy, self-interest. Now, in the material world, people will tell you, no, you've got to look out for yourself. You know, if you don't look out for yourself, who's going to look out for you? I mean, I know you've probably heard that. I've heard it hundreds of times. So, maybe thousands of times I've heard that. In this lifetime, you see, you've got to take care of number one. Number one, me. People, everyone knows that I am number one. And to me and to you, you're number one. So therefore, there's a little bit of conflict there because we're both trying to be number one, you see. So therefore, we live in a world of competition. And it's all due to self-interest. So if we have the same interest of pleasing Guru and Krishna, well, now we're all working together, isn't it? Now we're all in harmony. Harmony is one of the symptoms of the spiritual world. The spiritual world is full of harmony. Everything works together, like a fine-tuned race car. The engine, every part in this fine-tuned engine works together for the same purpose, you see. So, in an environment where everyone is working for Guru and Krishna, then it's like a fine-tuned machine. Everyone is working together. I'm not trying to get ahead of you or take what you have, steal your resources. No, I want you to have your resources because I want you to serve Guru and Krishna, you see. So I'm not looking to somehow or other get ahead of you, get more fame, more profit, more distinction, you see. So this is the difference between the pure devotees and the rest of the world. The pure devotees really can't think of anything that they want except to please Guru and Krishna. They all are working on a mission. And that mission is whatever their Guru's mission is. You see, you may have your own mission. It may appear like your own mission, but basically it's just a part of your spiritual master's mission. That's it. Someone may say, oh, that restaurant that you opened, that was very good. You know, but that's just part of Lord Chaitanya's mission, which is Srila Prabhupada's mission, you see. And your Guru's mission. Surely your Guru's mission is Srila Prabhupada's mission. What kind of Guru wouldn't have the same mission as his spiritual master? No, we follow in the footsteps. So self-interest will cause us to want to make our own footsteps. So that means we may fall into the ditch. We get off course. So I should probably pause here and ask, are there any questions or comments? Yes, Shruti Prabhu. It's good to see you again.
I was thinking, we were talking about meeting Krishna, and people say we have appointments. You know, it must be that we don't see the value. If they were giving away kilos of gold, you'd know it's costing me 50,000 or 40 lakhs to miss it. But this must be what Krishna means in the end of the 3rd chapter when he talks about using the deliberate spiritual intelligence. Because if I really use it, isn't it a big loss to miss out on Krishna, even bigger than the 40 lakhs of rupees?
It's the biggest loss.
The biggest loss.
It's like that last part of this purport. Maitreya finally became aware of the importance of entering into the association of the Lord. Maitreya finally gets it, the importance of entering into the association of the Lord. Wow, I could have always done this. I'm just now realizing the importance. It's just like if we say, yeah, well, I want to have the association of the Lord. It's like if someone says, hey, it's good to see you. Let's do lunch sometime. What does that mean? Huh?
I'll call you.
Yeah, I'll call you. Good to see you, buddy. You're looking good for your age. But it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it kind of does. It's a warm, fuzzy thing to say. But I mean, real serious is, Shruti, good to see you. What are you doing for lunch tomorrow at 1 o'clock? Oh, now you've given me a time. Now let's put a place to it at Govinda's. Whoa, now this is some serious stuff, isn't it? Now, I really want to see you. We've got a time and a place. It's all set, you see. So are we doing that with Krishna? Yeah, I want it, Krishna. Well, when? Well, you know. Well, I'm not in control, Prabhu. Well, I don't know. We should read the verse again. It sounds like Uddhava was driving this whole thing, wasn't he? Yeah. I mean, maybe we're behind the wheel too. You know, we're driving this whole thing. Krishna's there. He's available You want to see him? When? It's like in the deep south of the United States. People say, one these days. You know what I'm saying here? One these days. One of these days. Sometimes I've heard them say, right now in a minute. None of this means anything. This is just some sound vibration. It doesn't mean anything, you see. One these days, Krishna, me and you. So, yeah, thank you. That was really good. Rameshwar Prabhu.
Thank you for reminding us that we shouldn't put off when Krishna invites us. I'm understanding that Uddhava is an eternal associate of the Lord. So he also has a plenary portion that becomes a vasu. It's a little unusual.
Yeah, we don't usually think of this aspect of Uddhava, do we? We don't think like that.
I did not remember ever reading that before.
I've read it. We've all read it, but it didn't stick in. I was thinking when I read this that, huh? Wow. So like recently someone was saying on Facebook or something, am I to understand that Arjuna is an eternal associate of Krishna and he doesn't get to go back to Godhead? No, he doesn't. He's stuck having to listen to Krishna and associate with Krishna eternally, birth after birth, in many universes at the same time. Like that's some punishment. Why do you want to go back to Godhead? To have Krishna's association? Well, no, I just think it's a great place to retire. I was thinking Florida, but, you know, with the hurricanes and everything, so. Go cool sounds pretty good. You see? Well, Arjuna has that. He has Krishna right face to face. Why? He gets to constantly grow up with Krishna. They sleep with each other. They play with each other. They fight the war together. They have this Bhagavad Gita discussion, and this is going on constantly. Well, I think that's a pretty good, yes?
That example is making it still difficult for me to understand why Uddhava, who is eternally with Krishna in Vrindavan, would come into the universe to be a vasu. I'm still,
yeah.
The Arjuna example is perfect. You never not with Krishna.
Yeah. Well, service and separation. Here he is doing his service, and what's he thinking about? I'd like to have Krishna's association. All the others are saying, you know, I'd like this, I'd like Germany, I'd like Russia, I'd like Queens, you know, and here's Uddhava. I want to associate with Krishna. It's having that desire and service and separation. You know, it's like if you're in love with someone and then you go to work in the morning, well, you're thinking of your beloved. You're supposed to be doing whatever your work is, but you're thinking of your beloved. So here's Uddhava. He gets to have that experience. You're probably thinking like I'm thinking, I kind of rather have Arjuna's position. You know, I don't want to be serving in separation from Krishna, you know? I mean, I hear it, it sounds like it's really great, but I would rather have him, you know, so I could be with him, but that's me. I mean, maybe I'll advance to the point where I could appreciate it someday, but I don't know. I don't know if there's any guarantee of that. I think someone over here, yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, good to see you.
very humorous and very compelling presentation about when do you want to see Krishna. So Mother Kunti says that as long as we are running after the things of this material world, call out feelingly to Krishna. Only one who is materially exhausted can call out to Krishna, saying, "Hey, Govinda." So, I'm black and blue by the material energy. We are not going to give up. You know, we're going to run after the queens and Russia and kings and whatnot. And when material energy beats us by those experiences, then we can Govinda. Just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Yeah, I fully agree. Just when the material energy has beaten you down completely, you're going to have some life coach, and they're going to tell you, "Get up, you can do it. Buy my online course or my book, and I'll teach you how to do this and this." So the material energy will beat you down and then encourage you back. You see, it's always been doing that. We've been through it, birth after birth, you see. I mean, really, just being beaten down in and of itself isn't enough. I mean, it should be a help. Now that we're in this situation, that we're getting spiritual knowledge and not just material knowledge, now we're able to sort things out, you know? Wait a minute, the material energy is beating me down again and again. Why do I want to give it another chance? I can't defeat the material energy. There, I said it. I can't do it. You know? Well, you know, winners never quit. Look, I'm a material loser. Color, what do they do with it? L, you know? Me, loser. Material energy, winner. You know, I cannot defeat the material energy, and I don't want to. Even if I do, what do I get? Russia, Germany, Queens, you know. You know, what do I get?
Another birth.
Another birth, you know, which means another death. It means another old age. You know, got to go through the dealing with the prostate again and worrying about cancer and getting enough exercise. And, you know, you cannot win. And even if you win, is it really a win? It's a loss. You win nothing. There is no win. The only win is for us to say, "Krishna, I don't want any of this. I know you've put me here. I just want to get out of here. I just want you. Mm-hmm. Even if I have to stay here, I just want you." Mm-hmm. That way I don't think so much about where I am and what I need to accomplish materially. Mm-hmm. See, if you want Krishna, you've accomplished everything just by wanting Krishna. You're an absolute winner. Mm-hmm. That's hitting a home run, you see. Just by, I mean, it worked for Uddhav, it worked for so many. That just by wanting Krishna, Prabhupada says that this is aware of the importance of meeting Krishna, and you become aware of the importance of just having Krishna. And you realize, well, there isn't anything else to get anyway. You see? So then all of a sudden this striving for material success or good health, you know, would you ask Krishna if he said, "I'll give you anything you want"? "Hey, Krishna, good, thank you. Give me some really good health." Well, what good is that going to do you? Mm-hmm. I just want you, Krishna. I want to keep the good health, okay? Let this body expire as it's going to, as whatever your plan is, But don't ever let me forget you. Let's stay together. Keep me together with you. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for, as Mataji said, the nice presentation and the good sense of humor also. Very heartwarming. So I'm always inspired when I meet senior devotees like yourself to hear some personal story about the subject matter of reciprocation. You said that you've been worshipping Krishna in deity form for so many years. So do you have any, of course you have many realizations and memories, but would you kindly share one story with us of reciprocation with Krishna that inspire you in your...
Yeah, I can give you one, probably the most important one. I remember many years ago, I was becoming very successful. I had gotten out of temple management, I was in business, I was making a lot of money, I was able to give a lot of money to the temple. I had a secure career, great family, big house, cars. Everything I did seemed to turn into gold. It was actually in my stars. You know, my astrologer said, oh, you've got the Midas type, whatever you do. And so I was doing that. And so then I became a little confused, you know. How will I ever, I mean, I had promised Prabhupada that I would end my life just preaching, that I would take Vanaprastha, go on, move on, you know. So I'm standing in front of Kalachandji one morning in Dallas, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? I mean, I really do, but I kind of don't. But I do, but I mean, I don't. I mean, this is a really good thing I've got here, but, you know, I know that I do want to, but anyway, I prayed to Kalachandji, please force me. Please force me to renounce. Take away my free will. I don't want it. I trip over it. It's not an asset, you see. So I'm asking you, please force me to renounce. And so Kalachandji said, done deal. You know, you hear like when a bomb is coming in, you hear it. Well, that's what was happening. I mean, I didn't know it. It's just all of a sudden, things started to just go bad, you know? Started to lose and lose and lose. Everything was shutting down. And I'm thinking, Kalachandji, I didn't mean now. Play back the recording of my conversation with you. When did I say now? You know? Well, I wasn't specific now, was I? I didn't say when. So he says, all right, you got it. And in a very short time, everything was gone. I held on for years, trying to make it and trying to close everything, all the aspects down, but I realized this is over. This is gone. And I turned around and embraced, you know, house being repossessed, losing everything. By the time it was over, I was in my late 50s, moving into the Dallas temple. And I didn't even have transportation. I had a couple of bucks from, you know, what do they call it, devotee maintenance, and took up some service. And I thought, wow, I was sitting on top of the mountain, and then now here I am back into management again. You know? So, yeah, Krishna reciprocates. When you're dealing with Krishna, be very specific. All right. I'm going to sign off. I thank you all so very much for the opportunity to have your association. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.